let me tell you a story. Use your imagination and go back with me over 2,000 years to an ancient Near Eastern Jewish wedding. Enter our first character. Her name is Mary. And when Mary speaks with the servants, she learns that the hosts have begun to run out of wine. You see, back in these days, to run out of wine was to violate the social contract that everyone had signed. You didn't let your friend run out of wine. It meant that you couldn't provide for the people around you the way that you promised you could. It meant that you didn't live up to the story that you told about yourself. But what makes this story important is the parallel that it makes in our lives today. You see, Mary knew that the hosts were running out of wine before they did. The people that were hosting this party didn't even realize the potential danger that was sitting ahead of them. In the same way, our culture is living in a world where we run out of wine and we don't even know it. You've heard it said, what would Jesus do? But perhaps this time it's better to ask, what would Mary do? Because you see, when Mary realized that the hosts of the wedding at Cana were out of wine, she did what we should do. She brought them Jesus. And Jesus did what only Jesus can do, and he turned the water into wine. He brought them new wine, and they didn't even know that they were out of it. You see, in the same way, we live in a culture that's out of wine and unaware. So it's our job as Christians to be the Marys in this world and to share the story of redemption with a culture that's out of wine and doesn't even know.
Okay, so Act 1. A lot of times people, when they think of the opening act of God's story of restoration, they think in terms of agriculture. Right? They think of a garden that man has been created to keep and to live out their existence within. And while that is true, when you think about the book of Genesis, especially the first 2 chapters, in terms of the ancient Near East, what's more than likely going on is God is creating a kingdom. We know this because the language that is used to describe man as the image of God was the same language used by ancient Near Eastern kings to set up a monument of themselves in a recently conquered or acquired territory. So what we really have going on in the book of Genesis is God creating the earth, the universe, and placing man in it as his living monument, as his image bearer, to express his rule and reign. So instead of thinking of Genesis chapter 1 or the beginning story as a garden, we should really think of it as the kingdom of God, the place where mankind lives out God's rule and reign in their hearts and in their lives.